Today I'm going to show y'all how to make a tulip flower and a daisy. So you're going to need some 160s for the stems, a 260 in white for the daisy, and a 5-inch yellow, a 260 in red for the tulip. So we'll get started with the tulip. You're going to want to put 4 pumps. And then give it a squeeze to soften it up. And the first thing you want to do is you want to do a twist about 4 fingers wide. And then do a 1-inch bubble. And then you do the pinch twist with the bubble so that it makes it nice and small. And then you'll do another 1-inch bubble. Or another pinch twist. Squeeze it again. And then you'll make 2 more that are 4 fingers wide. And you can twist them together. And then you'll do one last 1-inch bubble. Okay, and at this point, you no longer need the rest of this. So you'll let the air out. And then you can take the excess and just sort of wrap it around. And then cut it off. And this part, you just take in, you just wrap it through here a couple times. So there's your tulip. And then of course you can move these around to how you want it. Just like that. For the stem, of course I have this kind of stem that you can see in a previous video. But for the stem I made for the tulip, you take your 160 and you really only need maybe about 1.5 pumps. You can do more if you want it to be long. Now with the 160s, they can be a little tricky as far as tying. So you can make a little bubble and then hold on to it, let the air out of that part, then tie it off, and it gives you a lot more room to work with. Now you can do a pinch twist here and here. However, to make it a little easier, if you just have a section set aside and then you do your 1-inch bubble, do your pinch twist on there, then do another 1-inch bubble, and do your pinch twist there. Then you can let the air out. and wrap that around so that you're not struggling with your pinch twist. And then you take the neck of your tulip and you just wrap it around. And of course there you have your little tulip, and you can decide how long you want it. Twist off where your length is and then cut anywhere that's not inflated. If you cut the inflated part, it will most likely pop, and when it does, it will split the balloon, which will cause you to have to do everything all over again. So you tie it off, and then that is done. There's your tulip. For the daisy, you're going to do 4 pumps. Squeeze it to soften it. And on this one, you're going to make 6 sections that are about 4 fingertip length wide. And then you twist those. And then you can take your first section make sure it's real good and tight. And then cut the excess, or deflate the excess. And then you just arrange them. And then you take your 5-inch, and I'm only going to do 1 pump, and I'm going to have it next to here so I can see how big I want it. And then when I get it to the size I want after deflating, tie it off and wrap it in. And then there is your daisy. And then of course you can make your stem like I showed in a previous video and attach it right in. Or you can, you know, just, actually another thing you can do is you can make a bracelet. And so to do that, you can take just a white 260, put it in there so that it's attached, and then you figure out what size you need. Of course, you don't want it tight, you want it to sit loose. So we're going to just tie the ends. And I always tie mine twice. And there you have a little flower bracelet, which is great for a kid's birthday party or a spring or Mother's Day event. Enjoy!